Hi, everyone. Welcome to our second live stream broadcast of Kensington Live. My name is Logan Bingham. I am your host, your mediator, the tech guy behind the scenes, whatever you want to call me. But I'm grateful that you're here. We have 4 people watching so far, but we'll grow, and share this on your Facebook or wherever. Get people watching. Let me tell you what this is about. Kensington Live, we're doing every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at 7 p.m. We're going to be here on Tuesday. We talked with the casts of Les Mis, both 2012 and 2016. It was a lot of fun. If you didn't see it, it's on our YouTube page and our Facebook page. The Facebook cut out about halfway through. So if you want to watch the whole thing, go to our YouTube page at Kensington Theater Company, and you can watch that Les Mis reunion. Really fun. Tonight, though, we have the cast of Kensington Theater Company's, or originally Daybreak Theater Company's, first show in 2008, the cast of The Wizard of Oz. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've been talking beforehand, and we're going to have some fun. So let me say that if you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you can comment, and both comment streams are going to come on, and I can put your comments on the screen. So if you have a question for someone that's on the screen, or if you have a story or a memory from, say you were in the show and you're watching, or if you just have a question about anything that we're talking about, put it in the comments and I'll put it on the screen. Now, like I said, Facebook... Something's going on with my mic. Can you hear me? Facebook went out last on Tuesday, and I thought, oh, it was my fault or something. But Facebook sent me a message and said that it wasn't us, that they just have so many people on Facebook right now that they've been experiencing some outages. So if for some reason Facebook or YouTube goes out, try the other one. So if you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go to Facebook. Try the other one, because on Tuesday, YouTube was still going. All right. This got me thinking, and of course, things are going to go awry. There might be glitches, or someone might cut out and whatnot, and that's just how this works, right? But really got me thinking about what an incredible... yes, the time is crazy. These are weird times of we've never experienced anything like this, but how lucky we are to be able to communicate still, right? 15, 20 years ago, we would not have been able to do this. We would not have been able to watch a lot of what we're watching, maybe on TV or whatnot. We wouldn't be able to FaceTime. We wouldn't be able to Skype other people. So let's be grateful that we have these kinds of technologies to keep us connected. I wanted to put it out there that in this crazy time, it's been hard to see art or performing arts and all kinds of art have to cancel shows and cancel concerts, and that's really sad. But it has been so impressive to me to see organizations all over the world come together and say, hey, we might not be able to get together, but we still want to give you content and be able to connect with you. So I have a list of all the things, not all, but a big list of places that you can still go to see theater, to see performances from orchestras and from choirs and from all sorts of ensembles in the performing arts, so that you don't just get stuck watching the same Netflix shows or the same thing on TV, but these organizations are streaming. Here's a few of them. The National Theatre, which is over in London, is starting it's called the National Theatre at Home, and every Thursday, starting next week, they're going to be streaming a play every night that you can go see on their YouTube channel. That's the National Theatre. It's called National Theatre at Home, if you want to look it up. Broadway HD, if you've never heard of Broadway HD, it's really great, actually. They have a 7-day trial. It's free. They have, I don't even know how many shows they have on their site that you can just stream, just like on Netflix. Everything from Cats to Kinky Boots to shows at Lincoln Center. It is awesome. It's only $8 a month, so you could pay for a month of Broadway HD and get your money's worth. Totally. How about the Met Opera? If you're into opera, the Met Opera is streaming every night. They're putting on shows, an opera, and you can stream it for 23 hours until the next show gets put on their stream. So this week they've been doing Wagner, if you like Wagner. Next week they're doing Dialogues of the Carmelites and the Barber of Seville. So if that's what you like, go watch it. The Berlin Philharmonic and the London Symphony Orchestra are doing digital concert halls. You can go watch their streaming. Marquee TV, if you don't know what Marquee TV, it's kind of like Broadway HD. Go look that up. Or I just saw this one today, Play Per View, not pay-per-view, Play Per View. They're streaming Broadway plays every night, and it's just $5 a ticket. So I just wanted to put that out there that we're trying to keep people connected here and talking and seeing familiar faces, those that we don't get to see in this time. But you can still go and support your art, your favorite performing arts organizations all over. And they're the amazing part about coming together and sharing all this. Great. Let's get on with it, shall we? This is going to be a little bit of reminiscing, and I want to know, because I maybe don't know all the details about Kensington or Daybreak Community Theater in the back in the day. So we're going to ask questions. If you have questions, again, put them on Facebook in the comments section, or on YouTube. You can put them in the comments. And then we're going to, of course, welcome on the cast of The Wizard of Oz, and I have a surprise for them in the middle that I think will be kind of fun. All right, let's welcome. She was my first guest last time, and she's going to be my first guest again, and probably every time, because she's the person here at Kensington. Will you welcome Toni Butler? Hi, Toni.
Hello.
We can't hear you.
You can't.
Anybody else? We can't hear you. So maybe we won't welcome Toni. It's okay. This is what's going to happen. Can you hear me? Yes, she says. This is what's going to happen. Things are going to glitch, and it's okay. So, while Toni's getting this put up, I'm going to put up a little. Some people are saying that they can hear you. Weird, but I can't hear you. Try talking again, Toni.
Ooh. Hello. Talking.
Well, I can't. People are sending me tons of messages that they can hear you. Why can't I hear you then? Hold on. Okay. I'm going to ask you a question since I can't hear. I'm going to go away, see if it's on my end. Toni, let's talk. I want to know the beginnings. I know that you and me are the same kind of person that if we want to do something, we do it, and so I'm assuming that that's got to be part of this. But I just want to know the beginnings of all this with Daybreak Community, or even before that, what your idea was for this, how this started, even before Wizard of Oz too.
Okay, well, first of all, welcome to the theater. I thought you guys might be missing it, so I thought I'd bring it to you because it misses all of you. So it's just me here working on the set. So in your mind, help me lift the platforms and stuff. But how this all began was, really, it started with just a dream. People helped me find my passion of theater. I found I was good at it. People saw I was good at it before I even knew I was good at it. And they pulled me in, and I found that I was good at it and successful. But then I felt, fortunately, I saw the good that theater did really early in my life, and how it changes people's lives and gave them self-esteem and a sense of home and belonging. And I had a community theater that I really loved. It's called the Parker Theater right now, and I loved them. and it became a home away from home for me. Anyway, so I started just dreaming about building my own theater. You can ask Paul. Anytime we're at airports and stuff, I'd be sketching theaters, and every theater I would go to, I'd take the things I loved from it, and then I'd put it in this dream theater of mine. But how it actually happened, I studied theater education, and I was working at East, and then we decided to move to Daybreak. And we love Daybreak, but there's no arts out here. And everybody around me just felt really lonely. They didn't know where to be or what to do with themselves, and a sense of belonging. And Daybreak had a lot of events that were going on. So I had an idea. I'm like, hey, well, what if we put up a play? And so I remember, I don't know if we can get Kevin on here. Logan can't even hear me now. But I approached the Daybreak Community Association. There he is! Yay! Wada! There he is!
I can hear you now. Yay!
I'm so happy. So I went into the Daybreak community. They were having a meeting, and I remember they were all around this really big table, or whether you're just in a room. I felt like there was a table, maybe there wasn't. And Kevin was in that meeting, and I approached them, and I'm like, hey, I want to do theater. I want to put up a play. Would you guys sponsor us to do this event through Daybreak? And Kevin was in that meeting. So was Chris Merrill. And Chris thought I was crazy, but I think he's sort of fascinated by crazy. And so he thought, hey, I'll go on. Let's see what this crazy lady can do. And then Kevin had done theater and he was younger. Well, you tell me, Kevin, what brought you on?
So, well, I think initially it was so we were debating whether or not it was going to be the what's that race, the Kentucky Derby, if we were going to do an event for the Kentucky Derby, or if we were going to do the Wizard of Oz or the community play. And I was like, so I wasn't too jazzed about the Kentucky Derby. So when it came to voting, I voted for that. I voted for the community play, and then I saw the invites go out that you sent out, and I thought to myself, I said, okay, I'm gonna go to this meeting just to see what kind of train wreck this is. So that was my initial thought. And so we get to the meeting, and here's Toni with this ton of energy, and she's like, we can so do this, and et cetera, et cetera. And so you said, okay, so I have some skills. I can help.
Yeah.
So I ended up joining the production team as the technical director. The really interesting thing about it is Toni and I had never met before this, and so the cast, the community thought we'd been lifelong friends, and because we seemed to click as a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
Here's a picture.
Oh, I love that picture.
I do too.
That's one of my favorite pictures. So a lot of you don't know Kevin right now because Kevin, he came in at the very, very beginning, but Kevin was one of the big reasons why Kensington is what it is. In fact, I had the craziest experience hi, Michelle.
Michelle and Andrew.
I was at TBC Junior this summer. Kevin had never seen the theater before. This is the theater we dreamt about. We would sit in the parking lot at ELA and talk about it. We'd always call it the horse and all of this pile of crap that we had to go through. And I keep telling him, Kevin, the horse is here. Come play with me. And he'll explain maybe what happens, where he went after, because it's really cool. But anyway, TBC Junior this summer, I get this call and Kevin's like, I'm at the door. And I'm like, Kevin, where do you live? What state are you in?
I'm in Tennessee. Right.
Okay. So Kevin's like not in Utah. All right. So he's like, I'm at the door. I'm like, who is this? It's Kevin. I'm like, Quaterer? Like, which Kevin is it? I didn't think any would be Kevin Dudley. So he was just driving by, happened to be driving by. He was in the state, and I just happened to be at the perfect moment that I could leave TBC Junior for a second and give him a tour of our horse. And I was in tears because Kevin means the world to me. He's one of my favorite people, and love you.
Thanks.
People are loving Kevin. They're saying hi, Kevin. Jamie,
Hello.
Jamie.
Hi,
And
Jamie.
Andrew, you saw Andrews earlier, and of course
Yes.
Michelle. So, well, I want to ask then both of you. No, we should have known. This is reminiscing. We should have. We should have known. But I wanted to know. So this was great, and I heard almost all of your explanation, Toni. But one of my questions was, what were the challenges with getting this? I mean, so you decide to do the Wizard of Oz. What were the challenges with getting the show up and running? I'm sure there were lots, because this is the first time you didn't necessarily have a space of your own, right?
Right.
In the gym.
Yeah, I think we did. We built the sets on people's driveways, and yeah, we did most of it there. We had my friend Steve Schmidt. He lent us some set pieces that he let us repaint. I think one of the biggest challenges was when we moved in. We had all the set pieces. We were really organized. Like, seriously, I mean, Kevin can agree with this. I think that it was slicker than we thought it would be. Because we were smart, we were efficient, we were talented. And for me, I remember the biggest thing is we moved the set pieces in because we thought we'll just put everything on casters, we'll move them around to different places. It'll be really easy to do the sets. So we get into the gym in Daybreak, and it has a really nice floor, and all the casters would sink into the floor. And so we thought we were ruining the floor because it kept leaving dents in their floor. And then it was really hard to push the casters because it was just hard that way. But that's the only thing I really remember. I really remember it being super successful. I can't believe all the people who are still participating with Kensington still. I mean, just the people that we have here tonight are just
right.
The best of people.
So we had to hang the drops. We had to put in a space in that space to put those drops up. We did have to rig some sort of lighting system, which was really, really ad hoc. One of Toni's former students was key in helping me get that done. I mean, we essentially took a gym and made it a theater, which also became a theme for us. About everywhere we went, we would make something into a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that space was an easier space than the ones that started coming, though. The ones after that were tons harder than the one at Daybreak.
Absolutely.
Why do you think?
Why do I think?
Yeah, why was that?
Just we got bigger sets. We were in charge of our own sets, storage, money. Money was a big thing. Trying to find all the money to do everything.
Yeah.
It just got bigger. Everything got bigger.
That's awesome. Well, and I'm going to ask the people those that are going to join us, but I will ask you first. How did you get? I want to know from them how they got involved, but I want to know how you got the word out to people. What would you do to tell people? Because I assume you didn't have some type of platform, social media or anything to put out. That there was an audition.
We did though. We went through Daybreak Association.
Oh, you did.
So, I don't know if you know those guys, but those guys know how to advertise. So we used their platform. And we did a lot of posters. We had a lot of flyers. I think they even let us go door to door, I think we put up flyers like on every doorstep because it was one of their events. So they let us do it. You saw that cast. It was huge.
Yeah. Here, I'll put up.
There were 100 people in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you, when with the audition process, I guess we can talk more about the show now as we transition into the show. What was this show? Because I was not a part of Wizard of Oz. I wasn't around. How was the show? What did the show mean to what would then become later on Kensington Theater Company? What does the show mean to as the beginning, quote of this journey?
Well, to me, remember the purpose was to create community, and it 100% did that. I mean, I met some of my best friends in that production. They're still my best friends. it started this legacy that I hope continues to keep going and giving a home for people who just want to have a place to be and play and work hard. And it definitely did all of those things. And it was a really great show. Like, we only had 4 men show up. 4 men. That's it. And so, or was it 3 men? Because we had the lion, John was the Tin Man, Grant was the lion, and Seth Quayle, he was the Scarecrow. That's all that came. And they were perfect in their roles. And so I told Kevin, you're the wizard, because we don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
And he was a great wizard, which I love that. Yes. That the first thing that Kevin ever did with us was the wizard, because he became the wizard in all of our productions. He made it happen. And I hope people call him still the wizard. Do they, Kevin?
Well, I don't know. Out here, not so much. So.
That's great. Let's get some more people out here, and we can start.
Before Kevin leaves, because Kevin's story is so sweet. A lot of people don't know Kevin.
Yeah.
Will you just tell them just briefly how your journey from being a curmudgeon cop guy and to become, and what theater did for you, what this whole thing did for you?
Sure. I mean, so I will always point to the beginnings of my second career, which is in theater, to this actual production, The Wizard of Oz, So I was working full time as a law enforcement officer. I worked part time as a real estate agent. I was, doing just a little bit of everything. Was deeply involved in the Daybreak community, and then this thing came along, and what I did is I found a new passion. My daughter was 18. The first show that she did, and they had no idea that I'd ever done theater, that I knew anything about theater. Because it was a deeply held secret, and I'd started in 1983 as a scenic design major at the University of Utah, majoring in theater. I had professional film and television credits as a youth, and none of that factored into my career in law enforcement. So Kensington captures me. Captures my imagination, captures my heart, and so about 2 years after starting with Kensington, I decided I would go back to school and finish my degree. So I just summarily quit my law enforcement job. I went to school full time, finished a degree in scenic design at the University of Utah, and about halfway through that process, I decided that maybe I wanted to go to graduate school so that I could teach full time, and so I ended up going to graduate school at the University of Iowa, where I got a degree in theater arts with an emphasis in scenic lighting and entertainment design. And from there, I took a job in Virginia, which is actually where I work. I live in Tennessee, but I'm on the Virginia border. And I took a job in Virginia at Emory and Henry College, where I'm the resident scenic lighting and entertainment designer for that college. I also teach at the college as well. So since this first 2008 production, I've designed probably 100 productions. I've worked regionally, I've worked professionally, and occasionally. I go through some of the old photos and go, damn, we did some good stuff.
And I just want to point it out there that his happy scale went up 800%.
It absolutely did. It absolutely did. And it also as a result of all of that, my daughter, who was 18 at the time of Wizard of Oz, she finished a degree, a BFA at the University of Utah in performing arts.
He was the guard in the window, in the gates of Oz. I don't know if you have that picture, but that's her.
And then she went from there. She's now at the University of Florida, getting a master's degree in theater management, and so she'll have an MFA at the end of next year. So we're a little bit closer to her than we would have been if we were still in Utah, but it's still about an 8 or 9 hour drive to see her.
It's a cool story. Anyway, sorry, Logan. I just thought I want people to know it.
That is great, and I'm so happy that Kevin's here to share this with us. So this is fun. Let's bring in some cast members, shall we? I'm wondering if we should add just a few in, and then we'll add a few more in a second. Let's do this. Let's welcome your Dorothy. Let's have Sarah come on the screen. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Good.
Okay, so Sarah, you've been hearing us talk. You've been watching, but I want to know, and maybe we can bring on. Let's bring Julia and John on as well. Hi, Julia and John.
Over the show.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's. I want to hear how you guys got involved. Of course, both of you, family. I want to know because I assume Sarah's being maybe she dragged Julia and John into this, or maybe you dragged Sarah. I don't know. I want to know how this worked.
Sarah, do you want me to take the lead?
Take the lead.
Okay. I had a background in theater and thought, this would be a really great opportunity for my family to go get involved. And we saw the advertising and thought, let's do it. And of course, I think John was a little bit like, I've never done this before. But we went, and I still remember Kevin with his clipboard. And I remember walking in, and there was Candace and Toni and singing and nerves. It's just what it all brings. But everybody in the very get-go, everyone was just so awesome. And when Toni mentioned it was efficient and well ran, she's not joking. It was sharp with her and Kevin and Candace. It was just awesome. Just so impressed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we
Still is.
in.
And I was one of the three.
Yeah, thanks, John. Thank you.
My talent did not give me the role. I was one of the three. And so,
I would argue that your talent did get you the part as well.
well, it was a lot of fun. I got to say, it was a lot of fun.
Sarah, how about being Dorothy? You're the lead in the show. How old were you when you played Dorothy?
So I was 12 years old. So we had actually, just the year prior to that, we had just moved up to South Jordan. So we were living down in American Fork, and I was still, meeting new people and trying to discover who I was, very similar to what Toni was saying about herself. And I wasn't ever really shy, but I wasn't really sure of who I was and what I wanted. And I remember my mom practicing, and we would sing in the kitchen, and she'd give us notes, and we sing again and we sing again. And I was so excited to go to my audition. And my mom was a good director and was like, no expectations, Sarah, just do your best. And when I got callbacks, I remember almost all the other Dorothys that got callbacks were like 16 and 17 and 18 years old, and I was 12. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm out of my league. Like, what am I doing here? But yeah, the experience of playing Dorothy was, one, I love the character of Dorothy, but two, it was kind of, for me, one of the beginnings to my own childhood and my own journey of becoming who I am, because to what I think most people in theater feel, you do get a community. And I spent more than 6-7 years performing with Toni and traveling to these different places where she put on shows. And it really developed who I was as a person, but also who I was as a performer. So it was the beginning for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to bring on Grant, because he's our other member of this original that we have with us, the four of you. Grant, tell us how did you get involved? Of course, if you don't know Grant, you should, because Grant's been around and he's just awesome. But Grant, how did you get involved? How did you find out about Wizard of Oz?
Well, we found out that Lindsay had seen one of those many flyers that Toni pasted the neighborhood with. And she told me, I hadn't done theater since I was a kid. And she said, you know, you should really go try out with this. And you should take Emma. Because Emma really wanted to do something as well. And so we went, we tried out. And luckily enough, like John, hey, it's easy getting one of the parts when you're one of the three.
I have let's see. I have a fun picture of there's Grant.
Okay, they were perfect. You cannot tell me that Grant was not the perfect lion.
Can I tell you that costume was one of the hottest things I've ever done?
Well, you did so
lived
good
in
as an
South
animal. We
here.
need to put you in an animal costume every show.
Yes, you do seem to love to do that to me.
Grant, how did I mean because you've done a whole bunch of stuff with Kensington. How did that the Wizard of Oz you know, the show being in the production, what did that solidify you deciding, yeah, this is what I want to be a part of this and keep going and helping? And
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's interesting. We'd lived at Daybreak for about a year and a half, and we really hadn't found our place there. While there was tons of activities in the community, there were plenty of things to do. I just hadn't found my people yet. And doing that, I found my people. Like Toni said, some of my best friends, some of the people who I truly love in this world that came from being in that production. And I think it really, I can't say how much it changed my life, actually. It was a huge part of my life for so long and still holds a major place in my heart.
Yeah. And that's what I assumed was this is, I mean, every production I've been a part of here at Kensington has been special, but this first, production, I can just imagine that this. I mean, it had to have been special because look at what happened, right?
Well, you know, you look at it too. Emma just got accepted into the theater teaching program at Utah State.
Yeah.
I have to wonder how many of those kids in that production aren't ending up there in some way or in some form.
Yeah.
Theater isn't just a major part of their life because it was such a special experience.
Yeah. It was. I don't think anybody even understood. I mean, the purpose was to create a community, not a community theater. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so that was the really crazy part is none of us thought we would be where we are today. That was not what we were trying to do. I mean, my heart, I always wanted to do that, but I didn't realize this was my path, how I would get there. And after this, I mean, maybe we could talk about after the show, but it led to.
No, please do.
Oh no, I want to talk to these people. These people. I didn't remember Sarah was 12.
I was 12.
I was 5.
Emma, weren't you the other Munchkin mayor?
I was a coroner.
Oh, the coroner. That's right. Coroner. Yes.
That was me.
You munchkins. They were fun.
There were so
You
many-
remember when on opening night, can I just share a panic moment?
Please.
And talk about when an actor has to put their full trust in a director. And it was opening night, and Toni came and she said, Julia, I've got to change the blocking. And I went, what? 50 little kids? What? And she's like, it's going to be okay, really. And so she literally changed the blocking of Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead on opening night. And, you know, talk about literally having to put my trust in all these wonderful, beautiful children that I felt so responsible for of a scene. But you know what? As always, with Toni's magic, it turned out beautiful. So thanks for teaching me to put trust.
I remember being so stressed out because I had to cross the stage in a way that I've never done before.
That's right.
5-year-old who was scared half to death that I wasn't going to make it in time.
Yes. Yeah, and I was telling him, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I think it was for me too. It's going to be okay. So, yeah, it was awesome.
I love that.
I love
Well,
theater. You never know what's going to happen.
that's right. Well, and that was going to be my next question for you guys that are on the screen is, favorite moment of the show. Can you remember? It can be on stage, off stage, about someone or about yourself. Favorite moment that of the show for your character. Grant,
I can tell you something I'll never forget. Because we were working within a space that wasn't designed particularly to be running that ad hoc light system and sound system that Kevin put together, twice the power went out. And I remember it happened in the middle of my song.
We're like, keep the spotlights on him.
Yeah, and we just kept singing. It all turned out. They got it back on.
And that's what you had to do, right?
Right.
David, you can see it was pretty cool. Like even Kevin being projected up was so cool.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that picture of Kevin and then there's John. John, what about you?
Well, I had too many favorite moments. I had a ball. I was way out of my league, and everybody was patient, and it was a lot of fun. But I do remember one show, I was Hickory, had to wear a country outfit. Then I had to go, as soon as I was finished with Hickory, I had to run the back, and there was a team of people that would, and I was very modest, so when I say this, take all my clothes off, I'm standing there, and then they put my clothes on, paint my face, and then I run out and get on stage. Well, there's one night that this wasn't opening, must have been the second, or what did we do? 3 shows? 4.
I think we did 5.
5 shows.
5.
I run back after Hickory, get my Hickory clothes all off, and get my Tin Man clothes on, my face painted, and I run back out on stage, and I stand out there, and I'm going, I am not hot. And my suit, do you remember, Tony? I was when you're in these, and my outfit was plastic with the hot lights, and you knew when it was hot. And I'm standing out there going through, and I'm going, I'm not hot. Something's not right. And I looked down, and my top of my Tin Man suit wasn't on. I didn't put it on. The whole top you can see there was not on, and I had a gray shirt underneath. And he said, I looked and I saw that something unusual. So I ran back and I had a spot, and they put my
jacket back on.
They finished dressing me. I also remember with Kevin, I wish we could get he was up there and this was all pre-recorded, and Kevin would sit up there and he would talk to us, and he would wiggle his eyes up and down because he didn't want to be the same. And so you watch him. Do you remember that, Kevin? Open his eyes wide. He would just, and it just those fun little things that happened. I have to tell you, it was a lot of fun. And if I learned anything, I think I gained more confidence in myself as I did this production. It was a lot of fun. I say thank you to all, and a lot of work, tearing that thing down at night and going back and holy smokes, and getting to bed at who knows what time, hauling everything to the shed. You remember that? And that was the good old days. That was a lot of fun. So,
John, have you done anything theater since?
I've been in a couple of plays.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
I just want. Had you ever been in anything before Wizard of Oz?
Road shows.
Oh.
No.
The same.
I did.
I know every rehearsal is like, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. Wow, this is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And good friends. Good friends.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that Grant hasn't aged at all in all these years.
Sarah, how about you?
You still know your line.
Sarah, how about you? Favorite moment on off stage?
Yeah.
Memory?
I think I have like two favorite things. So I remember for me, it was really, really fun to get blocked because to Tony's point, a lot of our practices didn't always happen within the gym. So so for an example, when the show starts, it starts with Dorothy running on top of this, I don't know, it's like a track within the gym. I don't know if you guys remember that. And so Tony would have me run out with Connor and we'd be running away. And I remember getting up to the practice moment of that before we actually got to go into the gym. I remember Tony would be like, hey, Sarah, you're going to have to run a lot. So you got to jog. You got to jog in place. So you just got to get ready. And I was like, okay, Tony. And then we got to the gym and I realized I actually had to run like half of the track all the way to the back of the stairs and get back within like 30 seconds. And Connor and I would be booking it. And Tony, every time I get there, I brush, she's like, I told you, you had to keep jogging. You had to. But there were a lot of things like that was really fun. And being so young and so new to theater and so new to being in a lead in a position, it was fun to just feel myself being developed and people believing in me. Everyone that you're seeing on the screen here, I felt was a mentor to me in a million ways during that time. I mean, Kevin talked me through days, and my mom and John practiced my lines with me at home, and Grant hugged me after every time we sang. And, I felt like I gained a family through it. And I think that along with just being developed by the people you're seeing on the screen today is definitely my fondest memory.
Yeah. We have someone here that's going to say hi. I'm going to take me out so you can talk to him.
Oh,
I was in backstage. I was on the whole time. I was
so big.
How
are you guys?
Toto. In case you don't know who Connor is, Connor played Toto.
Yeah, there. Oh my gosh, that is the littlest picture. That is awesome. That's awesome.
You stole the show.
No, I was just a dog.
You were a cute
Dog.
I was the dog. I was the dog that ate cold hot dogs. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that bike that we had. We made it special so that you could ride right in the back of it with your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember she would come out. I remember getting in the bike was rough and trying to balance and kind of inside of it was a little rough and somewhat scary, but I thought for sure the basket was going to break, but it was awesome. I enjoyed it so much. I remember that was one thing I remember for sure was getting into the little basket. That was awesome. I remember that.
Oh, hi.
Hi,
Jill. Tell me when I'm going to go on.
Oh, I guess my mom.
Hi,
Mom. Hello, too.
So Jill had a really fun part. Jill, tell me about your part.
Oh, I was all over the place. I was Mrs. Gulch, so I could be mean and take Connor away. And on the cool bike, that bike was rad. I liked that bike. I kind of wanted it after. And then I was a tree and a jitterbug dancer and an Aussian. So I had all my kids in the play with me, and I got to be in scenes, I think, with almost all of them, because Sid was a dancer, like a munchkin dancer, and then interacting with Connor, and then Trey, too. So super fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. Jill was she was Mrs. Gulch, but she wasn't the witch, because her and Holly looked a lot alike. I sound weird, too. Anyway, and so it was really cool. People didn't know that they were two different characters, two different actors.
It was cool. I have a funny story. Trey, everyone thought Trey was the best actor. He was a little baby munchkin. What year was this? 2008? Is that right?
Yeah.
So he was 4. But every time the witch would come out, he really would cry. He was so scared. And I kind of felt bad that we were doing that to him. But anyway,
So fun.
good time.
I'm
what-
taking people out because you can't hear me, and there can only be 6 of you on the screen. Connor, I don't know how long you can stay. You're in a car, so I hope we're not taking your time away. But any other memories? Any other memories you or Jill about the show on or off stage, or just how'd you get involved with this? I know that you have a connection with someone, so that might be how you heard about this.
One me or Connor.
Either.
One memory I have in the show was, let's see, I remember I ate a hot dog every show. I ate a cold hot dog because we had a fake fire. I remember the fake fire, and every time the scene was coming up, I was like, "Oh man, I got to eat another cold hot dog." That was fun. I remember my fingers getting stepped on a lot, and then especially by the I got stepped on by the Scarecrow and the Tin Man a lot.
Sorry,
like a lot, and every time I was like, "Ooh." And then I also had to go buy these knee pads because when we were practicing in the show, I'd always be on my knees. So we bought me these knee pads I put under the costume. And I just like walk around on these knee pads. They felt a lot better. But yeah, I remember the biggest one was the cold hot dogs because I always looked forward to that.
So fun.
I have a funny story about you, Toni.
Oh, let me put Toni back in. Then I'm taking people out.
Now
he's off again.
Do you remember? It was one of our
He's
first.
off. Hi, Toni.
It was one of our first rehearsals, and I was doing Summer of the Rainbow, and we had just built that.
I can't hear Sarah at all.
Do you remember that?
Sorry, Jill was talking, so I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Okay. Do you remember when we first got the ladder that I had to climb on while singing Summer of the Rainbow? So I remember that it was our first dress rehearsal. So I had just gotten my Dorothy dress and I got my braids and I was feeling so Dorothy. And I start curling up and I'm about to sing my big note. And Toni goes, "Stop it right now, stop." And she goes, "Sarah, crawl down from the ladder." And I'm like, okay. And you go, "Pick up your skirt." And I had worn bright lime green basketball shorts underneath, and Connor was laughing and pointing at my basketball shorts for everyone to see. And he tattled on me, and you were like, "Where are your bloomers?" And he stopped the whole rehearsal so I could go put on my bloomers that were not cool as a 12-year-old. Connor tattled on me. I don't know if you remember that, but I do.
You had to be
I
thorough.
remember that. That was funny.
I
Is this bright green under your dress?
Go ahead.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite parts, Sarah, I just remember every time you would sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I was always so excited for the audience. I'm like, now they know it's going to be a good show.
Oh,
because of this moment. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Good.
One of my favorite moments just being I feel like it was a very unique opportunity to be Sarah's mother playing Glinda. And I remember it was closing night, and I think I speak on behalf of all actors. Closing night is just so full of emotion because it's the last night. Oh my gosh, I'm choking up already. It's the last night, and you've made these wonderful friends, and you just have this special bond. And I remember the last lines that I shared to Sarah, and I just started to cry as Glinda when I was telling her the power, you've always held the power. And it was just such a special moment that I don't know if I could ever get back. I mean, just in as far as roles. And that is probably one of my favorite. It was just such a beautiful moment for me to share with her. And it was so unexpected. the tears, and I'm like, Glenda's not supposed to cry. And here they come. So it was just, like I said, there was so much magic to this wonderful production, and it will always be just on so many levels dear to my heart, and with all of you. I just love you all.
Well, I think one of the things that did make Wizard of Oz really great is we did it with our families. So, and I love casting with relationships, pre-existing relationships, because it creates a texture you can't teach people about. So you and Sarah being mother and daughter, and Glenda and Dorothy, I mean, it creates this amazing connection. With Jill and Connor, being together, it just, you can't teach that. You can't direct that. It's just very cool.
It's really beautiful.
Every one of the great things out of a show is that, by the time we were done, Sarah was my daughter too. She will always be my Dorothy.
You will always be my lion.
I think that's something that was magical about all of it, was the community coming together with families, and the families all coming together. I mean, I made so many friends, and I haven't been involved as much and haven't seen all of you, but it just brings it right back when I see you on the screen. I just thought that was a magical opening to what is now Kensington Theater. Awesome.
It was a foreshadowing of what was to come to modern day, I think. So hands off to Toni. And
everybody. We all worked hard.
Yes, but it was your vision, and it was beautiful. And I really think it was a foreshadowing as to what was to come. It's had great ripple effect.
Yeah, who knew, right?
Who knew? That daybreak gym.
Yeah, so careful. Just keep doing good things.
Sorry, I'm taking people out so I can get more people in. Connor, thanks for joining us. Jill, you can both stick around backstage, but we have someone else that wants to say hi. I'm going to put her on the screen. Of course,
Oh no. Gone.
Oh. You're muted.
Hello.
There's Catherine.
Catherine?
Catherine is the Munchkin Mayor.
That was my breakout role. Yes. Yeah, I was 9 at the time, so quite young. That was where it all started.
I think you were the youngest mayor ever.
It's true.
Catherine, historical.
It's true. I think I ran the city well, though. You did great things.
Yes, I do. Glenda approves. Yes.
That was one of the cutest cities I've ever built. That's
darling. What a fun set.
Like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
And then your dad came in the next one with Peter Pan.
Yeah, it's true. We got him involved. In fact, as I was trying to reflect on everything that Wizard of Oz was, I was going through some memories, and I found an original artifact. I don't know if you can see this, but it's a Daybreak Community Theater ticket stub, which I thought was kind of cool. So, and then I don't know if you remember, but we had to have there were so many kids. We needed lanyards to get into rehearsal, and so I found some artifacts.
Yeah.
So
good times. Good times.
I still have that lanyard.
Yeah, my lanyard is on my wall.
I wore my lanyard to school, and my mom told me I had to stop wearing it to school. I was like, I want everyone to know I was Dorothy.
Yeah, you were Dorothy, that's for sure. We also I loved creating that city. There were so many fun jobs inside of there. I don't know if, Logan, you have the picture of the newsie. We had Munchkin newsies.
I remember that.
Right? It was so cute. Oh,
Catherine, any other favorite memory or anything from being the Munchkin Mayor?
Favorite memory? I just remember one of my favorite parts, that came along with being mayor, is all of us Munchkins just wanted the attention of Dorothy. The whole time, we just idolized you. We thought you were the coolest person. And so I remember I got to link arms with you at one point, and I was just like, wow, she's like a celebrity. This is the coolest thing. And I mean, I feel like I still get that effect. Like I saw you at the Les Mis performance a couple years ago, and you walked up. I was like, it's Dorothy. Oh my gosh. You're still that like celebrity in my mind. That will never go away.
Well, Catherine, you have some adoring fans, of course.
Oh.
Michelle, Catherine.
Hi,
Lily.
Michelle. Lily. Hi, Lily.
Yeah. So this is great, and of course we saw the picture of you as the Munchkin mayor.
So cute.
So cute. So cute. Everybody, I have something fun. Now, the only person that's not on the screen is Kevin, so we're going to have to figure out how to do this all together. But we're going to play Kensington quiz time. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Roll the intro.
I've been preparing.
We're so fancy. I'm so fancy. Wow.
That is so fancy.
All right. So I have.
My glasses.
Oh my goodness.
Two glasses.
These are the.
Emerald City.
Kevin, did you wear these? When you were the
Ozzy.
the wizard?
Mhm.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found them and I thought I knew exactly where they were, and so I'm probably going to kill you at this quiz because I have the wizard glasses on now. Sorry about that.
There it is.
Sorry, I got to choose one person to take out. So, Catherine, you're off. But how this is going to work is I have 15 questions. These are mostly about the Wizard of Oz. So it can be most of them are the movie. Okay. But we're going to answer questions about the Wizard of Oz. If you know the answer, I want you to raise your hand where I can see it in front of your camera screen. Okay. The points really don't matter, but you can keep track if you really, really want to. Okay. All right. So our first question is. Why does Miss Gulch take Toto? A, he chewed up her newspaper. B, he bit her. C, she wants to have him neutered. Or D, Dorothy doesn't have a dog license. I think Toni had her hand up first. Toni.
Well, she claims that she bit her. He bit her.
That's correct. 1 point for Toni. Great. All right, the next question is, which song was almost cut from the original movie of The Wizard of Oz? Was it A, The Lollipop Guild, B, We're Off to See the Wizard, If I Only Had a Brain, or Over the Rainbow?
Oh.
I don't know.
Julia.
Lollipop Guild?
Another
Which is dead.
Yep.
It was Over the Rainbow. I know. Apparently, they said that they thought it was too sad, and they were going to cut it, but decided to keep it. And of course, look at it now. So, yeah, isn't that crazy? All right, question number 3. What are the names of the farmhands on Uncle Henry's farm? You know all of them?
I only know 2.
What 2 do you know?
I know Hickory and Hunk.
That's the 2 I know.
Good. Anybody know the last one?
And
I do.
Grant. Zeke. Good. Zeke and Hickory. Good job. You can split the points. Okay, let's do number 4. What inspired L. Frank Baum, he wrote the Wizard of Oz book, to name his magical land Oz? Is it A, mouse, B, a traffic signal, C, a grandfather clock, or D, a filing cabinet? I don't know why you'd know this. Sarah.
Grandfather clock.
Anybody else?
Filing cabinet?
Grant, it was a filing cabinet. It said that he was writing, he looked over at his filing cabinet, it said A through N and O through Z, and he said, oh, Oz. That's what I'll call it Oz. So there you go.
That's disappointing.
Yeah,
cabinet. It's not magical.
Inspiration can come from anywhere.
Even a filing cabinet.
Yeah. Okay, another question. This is easy. What group of munchkins gave Dorothy a musical welcome to the land of Oz? Grant.
Lollipop Guild.
The Lollipop Guild. Good. Don't overthink it. It's not super hard. All right. This is well for Kevin. What is the name of the fortune teller Dorothy meets when she runs away from home?
Oh my goodness. I forget. I forget.
Professor.
I mean, I said his professor. Yeah. I don't know. I forget.
It's Professor.
Anybody?
No, yeah, it was.
Starts with an M. Professor
Yeah, it's like-
Marvel.
Professor Marvel.
There it is.
Good.
I don't know if we can say that because of licensing now.
That might be true. Okay, here's another. Maybe you know this one, maybe you don't. What is Miss Gulch's first name?
Edna? No.
No, I can give you some options. Is it A, Almira? Is it B, Evanora? C, Maleficent? Or D, Elphaba?
It's the first
Almira.
one. A.
Yeah.
Yes, it is A, Almira Gulch. Good. Why would you know that? But it's just, true.
Because Brooke said it in the play.
Yeah, Brooke.
Yes. Okay, so in the original movie, what was the Cowardly Lion's costume made of? Remember, he's a lion, but what was his costume made of? Anybody have a guess? I can give you some options. Or yes, Toni?
Orangutan.
The options are lion fur, beaver fur, lamb fur, or fox fur.
Fox.
Go Fox.
Wasn't fox.
Lamb.
Beaver?
It wasn't beaver. It was actually lion's fur.
Oh.
That sounds illegal.
I know, right?
Wow. I guess we can't say no lions were harmed in the making of this film.
It says, little trivia, it says that that costume sold for more than $3 million at auction in 2014.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy, huh? All right, next question. What is Dorothy's last name? Toni.
Gale.
Dorothy Gale. Good job. All right, let's see. Ooh, this is a fun one, but you probably won't know this. In the movie, what was used to color the horses in the Emerald City? Remember the movie? The horses are all different colors. Maybe you don't remember. Yes, Toni. Oh, I was going to give you options, but yes.
Oh, okay. I can wait.
The options are spray paint.
I was going to say Jell-O, just putting it out there.
The options are spray paint, chalk, Jell-O, or nail polish. You want to answer, Toni?
Jell-O.
It was Jell-O. It said that they refused to paint the actual horses, so they put Jell-O all over them, and they had to stop the horses from licking the other horses the Jell-O off of them. Weird.
I was obsessed with Wizard of Oz when I was younger, and I played Dorothy when I was 16.
Oh, cute.
We got 2 Dorothys. Love it. All right, we're almost done. This is what famous child star was originally the first choice to play the role of Dorothy? Yes, Toni.
Sorry, Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple. Good job. All right. This one's a little more deep. Who is the director credited for The Wizard of Oz, the movie? Anybody know?
Toni.
Toni Butler.
For this production, Toni Butler. So the original movie had four directors. The original movie had 4 directors. One was there for 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Another was there for 3 days. And then Victor Fleming was the director that's credited. He was there for the most time. And then King Vidor was there for 10 days. Interesting, huh? All right.
Wow.
Let's do this last one. What costume item was changed to a different color in order to show off the Technicolor technology in the first? Yes, Grant.
Dorothy's shoes.
That's correct. The slippers. They were originally silver, and they changed them to red so that they pop on the Technicolor. Okay, great job. You did Kensington quiz time. Wasn't that something? Just giving us something to do, right? Okay, so if we have, let me check and make sure that we don't have any other questions or comments from people. There's lots of course, we have this Cassandra. Love seeing these beautiful faces and hearing the beginning of Kensington. Yeah, wow. This has been fun. Let's do this. I asked if Sarah would sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow for us, and she said yes. So, Sarah, will you sing for us now?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a choice. I'm just going to remove everybody, and then you get to sing.
Okay.
All right, Sarah, take it away.
Okay, sounds good. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens some magic way. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found. Reading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll reach upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles mount like lightning drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why then, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't Oh, don't. Oh, Mom.
Thank you, Sarah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I think one thing we lucked out on, like I said, is one of my favorite moments. But Sarah not only has a beautiful voice, she has a beautiful maturity to her acting. Her mom has the same quality. And so to have someone who could sing it, but also bring that much heart to it was just so special. Such a great piece to our play.
Thank you.
You have some fans. So beautiful, Sarah. Andrew Hackman says clap, clap, clap. Great job. Guys, if you have any last memories or anything you want to say, we can wrap this up. thanks for being here and reminiscing. This has been so fun to sit and just listen to you guys talk about this experience and get to kind of see these roots of what now we get to do, Kensington, and we're here doing Kensington Live. So this is all because of your guys' effort. So I'm appreciative of you guys, and this has been a lot of fun tonight. Anybody anything that you've been dying to say?
So a couple of things that probably aren't really well known. The first one is the community was a little bit apprehensive when we brought this idea and asked for their assistance in producing the show. They didn't think we would sell a single ticket, or at least not enough to make it worth their while. The show was sold out a week before it opened. There was not a seat to be had. And so that's, that was pretty remarkable. It was also at the cast party for Wizard of Oz that Toni and I put our heads together and decided that we had started something, that there was a spark in this community and that we could make a difference. And it was from that, it was at that point that we knew that we should move forward. And that's what became Kensington. And it's also what gave me some incredible friends over the 5.5 or so years I was involved there, and folks that I'm thrilled to come back and see when I'm in the state.
Thanks, Kevin. It's great having you, Kevin, tonight. This has been great. Anybody else?
I think it's also interesting to know. I mean, we didn't know what to call ourselves because we were just putting up a play. We weren't, like I said, we weren't a community theater. We were on our own. So we just called ourselves Daybreak Community Theater. We thought that's fun. We like Daybreak, And then I don't know if I should tell the story or not, but
I know it's
so we decided, hey, we want to pursue this, and we went and met with the community people who helped us out in the first place, and they're like, just kidding. They're like, that was great. You got a lot of support. That was awesome. Tell you what, go, move forward like you want to. Go make yourself an independent company. We'll provide the space for you, and just find somewhere else to perform. Just because that didn't work out as much as there was just too much for them. And so we're like, yeah. So we got a season. We got Peter Pan cast. Peter Pan. Why did we do Peter Pan? Okay. So we did Peter Pan, and we go back. We're like so excited. We're like, we have a season. We're gonna be doing Joseph and Peter Pan and all these cool shows. And we go to the community center, and they're like, we changed our minds. We decided we don't want to support you at all. So good luck. And so we kind of got dropped on our bus with the whole cast. Like we had a cast. We were rehearsing, and anyway, then South Jordan kind of came in and put us under their arms and stuff. But it's been interesting along the way that every bump, every obstacle positioned us for a better place. Like seriously, I remember at our first meeting as a board, we're like, we should make a 10-year plan. Like that we knew that about making a company. Let's make a 10-year plan. And so we're like, let's make a 5-year and a 10-year plan. And so I remember at that meeting going, well, I mean, it'd be great to have a theater. And so I'm like, well, let's make that in our 10-year plan. Why not? And in my heart, I'm thinking, you won't have a theater in 10 years. That's insane, But I'm like, no, let's put it out there. Let's try this. And then because of all the things, all the obstacles that happened to us, we got into a theater 8 years after we began. That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe just a lesson that sometimes those things that feel like they're hard or super difficult, like lifting risers and putting away chairs and 3 flights of stairs and things like that.
Well, but we did. I now build and strike shows at a little bit, that are a little bit more complicated, a little bit bigger. And because of my experience at Kensington, I can strike a big show in 2.5 hours. Strike it, toss it, and put it away.
I know, and we recycle like none other. People are always wanting to rent my sets. They're like, "Can I borrow that?" I'm like, it's going to be the next set. Like, we recycle. We don't store.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
But
now,
I don't know. I just think it's so sweet that you guys are the roots of all this, the pioneers to this amazing, amazing adventure. I mean, you saw Sarah when she was 16 doing Les Mis. I mean, came back and did Eponine and killed that part too. It was so great.
and now Toni gets to sit in the theater and say hi to all of us from the theater with that great backdrop. So cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and I took the whole thing from a part-time consideration to now that's all I do. I do theater full time, and I actually get paid pretty well to do it. So
I don't.
Really, I'm still working for free.
So am I, Grant.
I keep telling all my students, do what I do, you'll make a living.
Yeah.
And all because of the Wizard of Oz.
All because of the Wizard of Oz.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Can I tell you a funny story about when I was Dorothy?
Yes.
Just I don't know why. We can stop. Tell me when to stop talking. But I was Dorothy when I was 16, right? And I had a Toto. But I'm like, Dorothy should have a real Toto. Like, not a fake Toto, a dog Toto, right? So I talked my director into it. And so we went and got a dog from the pound. And yeah. And so we called it Toto. It was a puppy. I don't even know what kind of dog it was, honestly. Just a little cute little, maybe a lab or something, like a small lab, or I don't know. Anyway, but the theater that I was doing, the Wizard of Oz at, it didn't have hallways around the theater. You're welcome. We designed this theater so that you never have to go outside ever from any entrance, right? But we had to go outside to come from behind and enter the theater. So the second act, we entered from the back of the theater to enter Oz. And so every time I would go around outside, and it was on State Street, mind you, this theater was on State Street and downtown. And so I'd run around and be like, "Come on, Toto." And I'm in my Dorothy dress, but he was called Toto. And so I'm like, "Come on, Toto." And he'd chase me every time. And we'd go into the lobby and we'd go up, and it was really cute, right? One time, Toto decided not to follow me. Toto took off across State Street. And so going to traffic. Chase me every time. Oh, sorry, I heard an echo. Anyway, and so Dorothy is now chasing Toto across State Street, yelling, "Hey, Toto, come back here!" And in my head, I'm thinking, how am I going to explain that Toto's dead? I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And so fortunately, we held, I did catch Toto, and I brought him back. He didn't die, but be careful with your Totos. Keep your dogs on leashes, people. Don't be stupid. Yeah.
Every show that has, Annie, that has a dog, it has to go awry once, right?
Yeah, he peed on the stage too. Yeah. It was a puppy. I didn't know what I was doing.
Luckily, ours never did that.
Maybe he did. We don't know it.
Always in your notes, Toni, at the end of our practices, you always like, "Connor, keep the fingers out of the nose, bud. Keep the fingers out of the nose." And I would like slap his little hand, like, "Stop." I was an obedient child, but stop it, Connor.
Oh, that's so fun.
Because he did do almost every night. It is fun.
Did you know how handsome he is? My nephew is handsome.
He is handsome.
I wish he was still on here. I could put him up. They're not here. Wait,
Yeah.
We have someone watching.
Hi, Richard.
Yes. Clap, 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 clap. I'm sure that's for your singing, Sarah.
Oh.
Guys, this has been so fun. Thanks for being here. I'm so grateful that you come on and you talk, and this has just been a really fun time. I hope that that Kevin and Grant and Toni, you'll come back, because on Saturday we're going to do an Into the Woods reunion and bring the cast of the 2012 Into the Woods. We had a whole bunch of comments on Tuesday saying, we want to see the Into the Woods cast. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That cast is a lot of fun. So on Saturday at 7 p.m., we're going to see the Into the Woods reunion. It'll be a lot of fun. So come back. If you're watching, come back on Saturday. If you're on YouTube or Facebook Live, click the button so you get notified, because all the days are bleeding together and you're not going to remember it's Saturday night. So you want to get notified when we're back on at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Thanks, everybody. Catherine's in the wings. I can put Catherine back up and say hi and bye to Catherine. Thanks for being here, Catherine.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see all of you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching at home. And we'll see you next time. This is the cast of The Wizard of Oz in 2008. Say bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.